Steph Curry's shocking new contract with the Warriors. Does this mean that he's staying? Or does this actually put him one step closer to leaving the Golden State Warriors? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Do me a favor. You guys know we're taking off, growing like crazy. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. All right, let's get into it. So Steph Curry gets a new deal with the Golden State Warriors. It is an extension of his contract, and it's just 1 year. Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry has agreed to a 1 year, $60.2.6 million extension, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. That'll keep him under contract through the 2026-2027 season. That would be his age 38 season. For anybody wondering just how old Steph Curry is, that would be his age 38 season. So I saw a lot of the response to this was, well, wait, just 1 year? 1 year for Steph Curry. This is the guy that is the greatest Warrior ever. Shouldn't you be committing more to him than just a 1 year extension? And does this suggest that maybe Steph only wanted 1 year? Maybe he wants to leave the Warriors into the future. In fact, could this actually make Steph more of a valuable trade chip by having 3 years remaining under contract instead of 2? After all, a team receiving Steph Curry would want to have as many years as they can get out of him. So if he has 3 years under contract, he's probably actually more valuable of a trade chip for the Warriors than he is right now. But the 1 year doesn't necessarily say anything. In fact, this is as committed as the Warriors can be to Steph and as committed as Steph can be to the Warriors. There's something called the over 38 rule, which means that the Warriors, the most they can give him is a 1 year extension. It's not like they could have given him a 4-year deal and said, well, we're not sure what the future holds. Let's only go one. No. The Warriors said, we will give you everything we possibly can. And that's exactly what they did here with this 1 year contract extension. So $62.6 million for Steph. Does this mean that there's no trades coming for the Warriors? Does this mean Steph Curry is not going to become a Los Angeles Laker, which has been in the rumor mill for a while now? Not necessarily. Let's take a peek at the Warriors and their contract situations and see what all of that looks like. So this is the Warriors now. Steph Curry under contract, 3 seasons, again, through his age 38 season. And you can see what is effectively the Warriors have done by giving Curry this extension. And it was the most they could give him. But his contract now lines up with that of Andrew Wiggins, with that of Draymond Green, those player options that are there. Now, should Draymond and Andrew Wiggins decide they're not going to exercise those player options, should they still be on the team? And I think that in Andrew Wiggins' case, that's pretty doubtful. I think they're probably going to move on from him. We'll get to that in a minute. But should those guys not exercise those player options and Steph says, okay, I want to go do something else, well, with 1 year remaining on his contract, even at age 38, you know somebody's going to give up something good for Steph Curry. Or if they do pick up those player options, which I think is pretty likely, I think Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, a few years from now, they're probably picking up those options, given how much they'd be making. Just looking at Andrew Wiggins, $30.1 million, Draymond Green, $27.8 million. Given that Draymond will be 38 as well at that point, I have a hard time imagining that he's going to find a bigger contract than that. So I think those are likely pickups on those player options. But so these 3 guys could potentially finish their careers together. I know Clay is gone. He's off in Dallas, but this gives the Warriors now everything's lined up for these 3 guys, if everything works out great, to finish their careers together. So you have that option. But you also look at the flexibility on the rest of the Warriors roster. Let's say Steph goes to the Warriors and says, you know what? I loved playing with LeBron in the Olympics. I really want to go to LA. Do this for me. I signed this extension. I'm as valuable as I can be at this point. We're going to get everything from the Lakers and send me to LA or wherever. Doesn't have to be the Lakers. It's a little more fun if it is, though, let's be honest. But it doesn't have to be there. But let's move on. All right, well, let's look at the flexibility of this team. DeAnthony Melton, 1 year contract. Okay. So not a lot committed there for the future. You could free up cap space pretty quickly there if you wanted to. Gary Payton II, 1 year deal. Kyle Anderson, he's got 3 years on his deal. But look at this. 3 years on his deal, but 30 years long, non-guaranteed. So really, it's a 2-year contract. And you look at how panicky general managers have been around the NBA based on the new collective bargaining agreement and the second-tier apron, how scared, terrified, shaking in their boots they've been over any type of long-term money. Well, that Kyle Anderson contract with the 3rd year non-guaranteed could be pretty attractive to teams. Buddy Hield, only $3 million guaranteed. The Warriors, again, trying to make it so there's as little long-term money as they're on their books as possible to increase their flexibility. Kevon Looney, $8 million. That's it. It expires. Jonathan Kuminga, a very valuable young player, 7.6 million. I think a lot of teams would like to get Jonathan Kuminga. The downside is you got to pay him on a new contract next year. But for right now, 7.6 million for Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody, 5.8 million. Again, just a one-year deal. Brandon Podziemski, we know the Warriors want to keep him. In fact, the rumor is that the Warriors went so far as to making Podziemski off limits in trade talks for Lauri Markkanen, who's phenomenal, and even told Podziemski, we're not moving you. We are not going to trade you. He's in high demand, but the Warriors seem very committed to keeping him long-term. But again, minor salary. Look at that, $5 million, just 3% of the cap 2 seasons from now. Who knows what he'll be by that point. All of these contracts, tons of flexibility on the Warriors' books. So even if Steph Curry went to the Warriors and said, please trade me, you still have a lot of wiggle room to pivot and build your roster whatever way that you want. If you want to try to build around young players, you've got movable contracts. Now, moving off of Andrew Wiggins might be kind of difficult if they went down that path. Moving off of Draymond Green, maybe a little bit easier, but not the easiest thing. But you've got a ready-made young team here with guys like Kuminga. You've got some guys in on good contracts that could be flipped for future assets. I love the contract of Slow-Mo Anderson. You've got Gary Payton II's expiring. You've got the ability to move in a lot of different ways, and that kind of flexibility will be really important. Now, what if it goes the other way, though? What if LeBron says, hey, Steph, yes, I want to come play. As long as Bronny is part of the package, send me to the Warriors. I will go play with Steph Curry. Well, again, you've got tons of movable contracts here that you could stack up. Now, you'd have to stack up a lot to get to LeBron, but you look at LeBron's contract with the Lakers, $48.7 million, and that's it. It's a player option after this year. Steph Curry on a 3-year deal now is way more committed currently to the Warriors than LeBron is to the Lakers. LeBron, $48.7 million, then a $52.6 million deal the following season, but it's a player option. He's got a no trade clause, so he would be able to direct his landing spot should he decide he wants to leave. And the contract of Bronny, look, I would imagine that is not $1.1 million, $1.9 million after that, non-guaranteed or partial guarantee after that, and then a team option. That's if there's some team that wants LeBron. If it has to be a package deal where Bronny goes to, no team is going to let that stop them from acquiring LeBron James. So when you look at this deal for the Warriors that they signed with Steph Curry, not only is it, I think, a strong commitment, as strong of a commitment as the Warriors can make to Steph, and as strong of a commitment as Steph can make to the Warriors, I also think it doesn't necessarily mean that moves aren't coming here, regardless of which way they need to pivot. Now, could the Warriors also just add talent to the team right now? Yeah, they certainly could. Again, plenty of flexibility built in with this roster set up the way that it is right now. And I think this is part of the reason why they made the decision not to bring back Klay Thompson and to move on from him. Part of that is the new collective bargaining agreement, but they also wanted the kind of flexibility that having a bunch of these contracts for players that are frankly values, $9 million here, $9 million there, expiring deals, non-guaranteed, gives them a lot of flexibility to mix and match contracts, put them together, and go try to make a big move. I know they'd like to move on from Andrew Wiggins at some point. Maybe they can. We'll see what happens with Draymond. But I do think that while this is a sign that Steph is sticking long-term with the Warriors, I don't think Steph and LeBron teaming up is likely to happen. We've been saying that for a while. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to consider. And these things have happened before when guys team up with Team USA in the Olympics. I don't think it's likely that LeBron and Steph team up. But if anything, I'd look at this move for Steph Curry, adding that extra year on his contract, this extension. I look at this as a sign that the Warriors, they're making this commitment to the future. They're committing to Steph. They're committing to win. Joe Lacob has said that he does not want to be just an ordinary team. And that tells me that this is not the end for the Warriors. Whatever it is, whether it's LeBron or something else, and it's most likely something else, but the Warriors have the flexibility to be in on any of the big moves around the NBA with the contracts they currently have on their books. So I don't think the Warriors are done. I think this means more stuff is coming. I think it is now more likely that Steph stays with the Warriors, but they can go a lot of different directions if they so choose. All right, everybody, give me your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to go check out our latest video. My guy D Free broke down the NBA 2K ratings. They were absolutely ridiculous. So go check that out. That's our latest video. Go give that one a look. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on those notifications as well. And let me know in the comment section, what do you think the Golden State Warriors should do at this point now that they have Steph for at least the next 3 years and under contract. Anyway, till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.